They were a unit for almost 40 years. There's definitely love there. That's another reason. All these pieces are interchangeable. Will and Jada's this fucking table. August Alsina's my water bottle. You can be removed. This table is going to stay. It goes with the room.
I like this.
This is the decor.
It goes with the room.
Come on, like,
I was waiting for him to say all this shit during this episode.
Dog, like,
okay, I like the way he's playing.
He just silly dumb, dog. He's a side chick. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. He was a side piece. He's still a hurt side piece right now.
I'm just a young nigga, I'm a ball like I'm Kobe. And off this Henny, I might OD. If a nigga running up, he better show me. Have a nigga leaking slowly, and I'm just trying to put my team on.
What's going on? This ScreamATMePodcast. I'm Kev.
Kyle.
What's up? We here. We keep our ear to the streets. Y'all let us know what y'all doing, what y'all thinking, and how y'all feeling.
Yeah.
You know, weekend just passed. You know, we try and keep it current. It was just July 4th weekend. Mm-hmm. Y'all celebrated. Y'all did something. Y'all stayed in the house. How you feel about it? Talk to me. What's going on?
I stayed in the house and got woken up by fireworks. I had work that night, so I wasn't doing nothing anyway, and I was up the whole night before, so by the time I actually was ready to go to sleep, it wasn't enough for me to do. For me personally, I wasn't going to do nothing anyway, just because of my stance on the whole 4th of July thing, but I didn't do anything. So what did you get into? I already know you did something. I seen you all yesterday.
I celebrate every Saturday. We go from July 4th, July 32nd. It's a Saturday, I'm going out. But like, it ain't had nothing to do with July 4th. Like, it was a Friday and Saturday, I go out every weekend. So, I mean, if July 4th was on a Tuesday, I might have just been in the crib or did Uber or something. But Friday and Saturday, I'm going out.
Definitely.
If I would do this.
Yeah, I was on the same type time. Me and the family, you gotta understand my family already big, so even when it's just us, it's a lot of us, but no matter what, you know, we don't do July 4th or celebrate nothing like that. You know, my sister cooked out. You know, she grill at her house. She grill at her house on a Tuesday, and on a Wednesday we go over there and do the same kind of job. But you know, it wasn't no pictures and all of that red, white, and blue, none of that stuff. Like, you know, because we trying to make sure that not only us, not only the current, but also our kids that's looking up to us understand to celebrate themselves, and not only just what, you know, these man-made holidays or, you know, American-made holidays or whatever the case is. But, you know, also speaking about July 4th, I mean, I don't know if everybody's seen it, but y'all heard about what happened down in Atlanta? Like, how y'all taking that with the black militia?
I loved it.
The not fucking around crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that? Like, what y'all think about that?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I feel like it showed black unity, for one. It showed how organized a group of people can be. It kind of gave me like Black Panther type vibes, but like on the aggressive side. But just listening to the things that they had to say, like at the end of the day, they even said in the video, like, they're not here to terrorize, they're not here to do any disturbing of the peace. They here for protection and as a retaliation if need be. So if we get attacked, they will be there to retaliate in 5 minutes, and they're going to fuck shit up. And I like that, because that's the message they live with. They didn't leave with we here to fuck shit up now. They live with we here to fuck shit up as an effect to the cause. Like, cause y'all niggas started messing with us, we going in return retaliate with our own firepower and our own group and our own army. So I was all for it.
We need one everywhere, for real. In Philly, Atlanta,
like
fucking Camden, LA, Chicago, in the city. No, but I just feel like some type of sign up thing or some membership where, like, it don't gotta be 100. It don't gotta be as many people as it is. But even if it's 50 people, where if in South Philly they start to dump shit again, we got an organization and we all license to carry whatever, and whoever else want to join can join. Make sure we all safe. Because if it's 300 people in South Philly, by the time we go on the shade room and Philly Scoop Hall and we all get down there, it's too late. We got a bunch of people on call, and they all the way in Atlanta. There's some shit going on in fucking Mississippi. It's take too long. So we need people all over to be ready to go.
So let me ask you, what do you think happens when people do take that route and the government or the police force now starts to deem it more of a terrorist group because of the way we organized it, and because it's not a terrorist group, but because it's such a threat to them, and they're threatened by the organization of black people being in every state as our own protection, our own form of like police in a way? How do you feel it would go?
I'll be perfectly honest. If they were to deem it a black, militia or a terrorist group or whatever, I think that that's blatant signs that they are still racist. Because, at the same time, why is it that it takes for us to have to protect our own, that now we get exiled or get this label of being what we're not? You want us to be docile and not respond and just allow the 460 plus years of what the fuck been going on, and that's no longer the case. That's no longer the case. But that strategic planning, that strategic mindset, we can't just be me, you, and him. It needs to be a unity. It needs to be a group. It needs to be, broken up parties in different areas throughout the country, and that we can still unify in a bigger front if we need it to be. But I definitely think it's needed. They even said on the video that they had, almost 400,000 people or whatever sign up. Only 1,000 showed up. That was 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying? That was 1,000 black men and women. That's a lot of people that show up on one accord. Exactly. That was one of people that showed up on one accord. But imagine if they had that 400,000 number possibly show up.
We really got a lot of power.
And that's I think
that's the joint that is starting to, I think, awaken a lot of people. We do have power. And there's power in unity. There's power in the numbers. It's power in that black dollar. It's power in that black vote. That's ultimately what it is. But they need to meet the fucking demands. Before we continue to agree, go along and get along, we need to see the real change. We need to see everything actually take that turn instead of them just trying to pacify the situation and tell us that it's going to be okay and hope for the future and all of that other shit. That's dead and gone nowadays.
Even back to when we was, even back to where all the looting and rioting and shit was going on, that shit wasn't from at least the black community, that shit wasn't organized or nothing. People was just seeing that shit and going out there. Imagine if we really strategically organized it, we could really, we ain't gotta take over America, but we could really have some say in this shit. They can't do nothing about it.
And seeing black people on camera, not fighting, being in such an organized setting, all coming together for one common goal over everything, it gives people hope. And a lot of people haven't seen that in years. They haven't seen hope that we'll band together as a people, seen hope that we can make a difference on our own. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to give us shit. We're going to have to take it ourselves at the end of the day anyway. We're never going to be given anything that's been proven since we've been brought here as slaves.
I don't want you to give it to me anyway.
Yeah,
exactly. I just want an opportunity to get it for myself.
Yeah, for myself. A fair opportunity. Not the jaded one, not the smile in my face and you really going to fuck my chances up or whatever, and all in all you want me to fight for it when you know good goddamn hell well you done already made your pick already. Cut the dumb shit. Make this an equal playing field.
We'll give you a call.
We'll get that bullshit.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
We'll call you or whatever. You know the way that they pacify you just to get you out the door. We took our quota in for the right amount of racial applicants or whatever. It's that bullshit.
We're this close. Try again.
Exactly. We just picked someone, knowing all in all, y'all picked somebody a while ago. Exactly, the dumb shit. It's just crazy.
I feel like the reason why, though, as far as us not getting that fair chance, is kind of the same thing with this now. When we're not given things, when we're in this natural setting of oppression that we're so used to now, we thrive. So imagine if we are on an equal playing field, what that would look like.
True.
We wouldn't have to try to take over America. It would happen naturally. Because naturally, we have that drive in us, we have that force, we have that ability just to do better. With that pressure on our back, we make so much with it.
I don't even want to take over America. That's
it'll
be scary because we so much of a target and we so hated now. And to be honest, we less than equal in America. If we even equal, let alone more, bro, they're gonna hate us.
Dog, I'm 50-50, man. I
feel like great things can come out.
I just want to be equal.
I'm definitely down to be equal, but no, fuck that. If we gonna be equal, take that shit equal all the way back to the beginning. We equally built this fucking country. I don't care. I'm sorry. And no, it ain't necessarily me, for those that want to say, it ain't you that did shit and it's your ancestors and all of that other shit. But no matter what, the blood, sweat, and tears of this color melanin skin that done went into this fucking country, we deserve this goddamn country. This is a country of our people. Yeah. This is a country of minorities. This is a country of people that's been fucking taken from their homeland and brought here for a different fucking reason. Oh, you got me chopped now. We gonna make y'all one of the most thriving entities in America's history ever, and now we just gonna forfeit and say, no, y'all got it, we'll go back home and shit. No, fuck that. I want everything. I really do. I personally do. Whatever that takes at that point.
It's a lot of people still thriving off of what their ancestors did.
Fucking
they might have sold slaves, whatever they did. Now they do oil or whatever. But the money Jerry Jones got right now, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly.
Where do you think all the fucking that money
shit came from?
In 200 years from now, his family still won't have money.
Trust.
So just building. They building.
Trust. They're building.
When native uncles and grandfathers and all that shit fought in the war and got GI bills and all that, and was able to come home and buy property, that property lasts forever.
That's just.
So now when they die, you got 300,000, 400,000 assets to your name. We don't have that.
We don't have that shit.
That's off of what your ancestors did.
That's what makes it generational wealth. That's what's continual. That's the thing that takes care of your kids and your kids' kids. You know how many lives and lineage have gone into it where we ain't got shit to pass on. Hopefully it's an equal playing field and no debt that goes on to my kids. Right. That's the ultimate goal for some of us. Like when in all honesty we done built into a company. We was the real thought train behind that idea that became wealthy. It's gonna take 40 to 60 years for them to probably say, like the water gun joint. It took him almost 100 years for them to finally say, like, that patent belonged to an African American. Yeah. Well, his family done lived 100 years without that wealth that y'all stole from him.
None of that profit.
Even if you give him bread now, what does that do for his family? Like, y'all done changed what could have still been a living lineage name and also trade and skill. Y'all changed that whole course of that joint. Like, no, like it to me, it's not fair.
So let me ask y'all both a question. I seen this when I was watching some people like have a pretty heated debate about black people in America. Do you guys think us being black people in this country, should we be integrated or segregated? I've seen a lot of people like really having their opinions on this. A lot of people feel like we never was supposed to be integrated from the beginning.
We segregated right now.
No, but I mean like segregated and like a real, like a lot of people, like this is how the conversation kind of went. It was basically two sides. One side kind of arguing the things that Martin Luther King fought for us to get into the same schools and stuff like that was the wrong route. Instead, he should have been fighting for us just to get the same exact school, but our own. And keep us on our own so we can thrive on our own, not be mixed with them, because that's what hurt us over time.
What neighborhood you from?
Philly. West Philly.
What neighborhood you from?
I'm born and raised all over, dog. Germantown, North Philly.
What middle school and high school you went to?
I went to school in the county.
I like 6 schools, bro, but I went to Freer High School.
What percentage was your neighborhood in your school black and probably Latinos?
Mine was diverse.
You was in the county. So.
Yeah, I was in the county. Yeah, like
mine was mostly black and Latinos.
I'm from North. I would live in North Philly, black and Latino. High school, black, not even really Latino.
Yeah.
We still segregated right now.
Think of that up here. We're in the upper, like Easter. Like you got to think about like down
it's the
south.
Same way down south.
I feel like it is.
I know it is.
I got a 50.
It's more segregated today than it was back then.
I believe there's actually truth to that. I'm biased in a sense of the answer to the question. While I feel as though having our own is beneficial to the growth, the cause, the knowledge, having the dollar stay in the community to rebuild our North Phillies and those communities. At the same time, I don't think we should be segregated at all. I want the fact that our communities should be able to thrive, whether in North Philly or the county. And if they both had an equal chance to thrive, we would want to stay home than we would explore out. At the same time, motherfucker, if I made it and I got the bank, I can go wherever the fuck I want. Don't put no limit cap, and that's me right now. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Sort of kind of growing up in the county kind of showed me a little bit of both sides of the shit, because we don't have as many of the police brutality type issues and shit that North Philly does. Don't get me wrong. It's prejudgment and bias cops and racial profiling, the whole fucking nine. Right. Drugs and, killings and the whole thing. Everything happens in every fucking community. Right. Different dynamics on different things. Yeah. But like everything happens over in the same community. So personally, I'm 50-50. Like, yes, I want the black community to be able to thrive. While I am a part of it and a member of it, I want it. But I want you to be able to tell me, like, all right, well, you can only stay in your black community. Mm-hmm. My father raised us by moving us around, whether we lived in North Philly and we went to school in Northeast. Mm-hmm. We lived in Germantown, we went to school in Northeast. Right. Then we moved to Virginia, then we went to the county. Like, he kept us in those diversified school systems because that's what the fuck the world is. Yeah. You need to learn those different cultures. You need to have respect for those different cultures. You need to learn that them black and Latino communities, bro, they one and the fucking same. They're both ignored by the necessarily government. Now, they have an accent and speak with a different language, and we speak with the way we talk or amongst our own, but necessarily it's the same circumstances and situations.
Fight the same battle in a way.
Real shit. It's the same fucking battle. Now, it takes you to get older and to truly grow up. Yeah. High school years, you start to really open your ears to your friends. That's when you really start to hear and probably really understand common struggles amongst your peers.
You know what that remind me of? Freedom Riders.
Hell yeah.
How they always beefing, but it's like when they really got down
to it, we all fight the same war. Yeah. None of us know the shit.
Right.
None of us know this shit because necessarily we're our own army, and that's just it. Yeah. Out there, of course, I'm going to come closer or be drawn to y'all. Y'all look like me. Right. You have necessarily probably the same struggle or life pattern that I have, versus a white counterpart or even a Hispanic counterpart. Right. But me personally, I'm open to talk to that Hispanic counterpart and that white counterpart, because necessarily sometimes we come from the same fucked up circumstances.
Right, even if they don't got the same features.
Real shit.
Even if they don't got the same struggle, they may have a similar struggle.
To answer your question though, no, I personally don't want to be segregated. Okay. I love meeting new white people. I love meeting Hispanics, Africans, Indians, Asians. I like eating pho and trying new foods.
I love that shit.
So like that wouldn't happen if I was around everybody who eat the same food, have the same type of mindset, think the same, we eat the same, we do the same things. I want to be open to different cultures and explore and learn about how I was growing up in Ethiopia and shit like that. And like, damn, that shit sound like North Philly to me.
Real shit.
The fuck?
Like, so you feel like being integrated makes you grow more?
It does. And the first time I was really open to that was in college, where I'm open to different. This is my first time being an actual minority. Like, I'm a minority, but I'm not a minority where I'm from. Right. The first time I really said, "Oh shit!" Like, I'm black in America.
Yes, you are.
Went to college, like, and I didn't even leave Philly. I was at LaSalle on Alsina Avenue, and I felt that shit. If I was in the middle of Pennsylvania somewhere, I'd be fucking around, be scared for my life, bro.
Up at Mansfield.
Yeah. Fuck no.
Oh man. So let me ask you one last question on this topic. If we were segregated, do y'all think that would start some form of war? Like us being segregated for years on end, do you think that'll eventually build up more tension and start a war because of us not knowing more about the other side because we don't spend any time?
It is, because at the end of the day, it's going to be borders. So, or somebody gonna live on a block where on this block is the black side and that block is the white side. So
something gonna spark whether it's a black and white couple seeing each other when they ain't supposed to.
I can't go to that store now that I've been going to for 20 years.
I keep it a buck too. I think it's too fucking late now to try and segregate because you can't tell who the fuck is what no more. And honestly, you shouldn't be able to. Like, you don't know. Your mom can be white and your dad can be black, and you come out looking like a little bit Spanish, but then you date a black person or you date a Hispanic, your child come out
looking Asian.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. We're too far gone now to separate. We're too far gone now to separate. Everybody needs to come to the damn table and let's just call facts facts. we need to be honest. Be honest about history. Be honest about the present. You know, no longer just treat it as the elephant in the room and nobody wants to discuss it. Even though we know that, you know, the school systems and everything else is starting to crumble around us, we need to really start to dissect those problems. Let's go hand in hand. And it is a bigger, fucked up scale when you start to do that. Because all of the funding and money that generally went to those programs or schools or areas or whatever is now being redirected somewhere. And once you start really pulling those records and facts and all of that other shit, you see where the money went and how things crumbled. Not only how it crumbled, but it was allowed to crumble. Not only the neighborhoods, but the school systems, the job market, the housing market, the whole fucking like, it needs to be completely restructured. That's where I'm at with it. But it's going to take all hands, open, honest, on deck. Like, it no longer that white privilege. We're gonna say we're gonna do this and actually
like,
you know, no. Everybody need to really just come out and, you know, be honest about what it is, and, you know.
Okay, I like your take on it. I wanted to know because it was definitely like, it was really highly debated, and I enjoyed it because I'm sitting there watching it, and both sides had really good points. Like, there was a lot of points about just like us being with our roots and stuff like that, and it's like, that's why I was like, if y'all
understand all the point.
It was interesting.
It's going to make it worse.
That's what made me pose the question to y'all.
Somebody's going to go across that border. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to go get their friends and their family, and it's going to be
a lot of people that look at it in a war aspect. That's why I asked y'all, because
I already know it's going to happen.
Look at all your predated history movies, dog. That's exactly what I'm going with. A Bronx Tale, period. Start watching that movie and you'll kind of understand if that's the mentality that you'll have.
It's going to happen in South Philly.
Real shit.
The Italian side and the black side.
But see, I ain't gonna hold you. The Italian side over there need to fucking chill a little bit. Like, you know, they kind of like called that their basic little Italy and shit and tried to like protect that joint for decades and not want the other communities to move in. Fuck that dumb shit up. They did. But see that, honestly, this is why I think every community needs the fair chance to thrive. Not just the Italian community. Shit, Asians come in the black community, motherfucker, and become millionaires off of us.
That's a fact. The Nelleries, the
Nelleries, the hair stores, the
fucking beer delis. When they shut everything down, they didn't shut the fucking gas stations down and the beer delis. How the fuck is that still essential? How?
No offense, but Indians and Arabs, they come in with the gas stations and shit in our fucking communities.
I can understand the gas station being open, but niggas need gas.
No, he talking about different.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about other races that benefit off of our community, and we don't have a chance to let our dollar, you know, stay in our community to benefit ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I don't want isolation. I just want the chance that the community gets to thrive. Like, you know, not only have the people in the community making more on an hourly wages basis, but, you know, funding from the government match that. The mom and pop store and businesses that's in that community, they need to get more advancements to open up more black owned stores in that black community.
They don't want to do that.
Of course they don't want to.
What do y'all do to support black businesses today?
What's up, like,
spend my money
with them.
But give me an example.
Sometimes I ain't gonna hold you. You know, I try and find, you know, black vendors or just like, you know, local friends and, you know, that I know. I know people that are, this is an entrepreneurship kind of decade and age that we're in. So I know a lot of people that have gotten tired of having to go other places for resources. So they've started it themselves, from restaurants to clothing and hair design to, you know, black barbers, the whole nine. Like, you know, I spend my money within my community. No, I don't think any black person has the true chance to only spend their money in the black community because the way the community is broken down and diversified.
Gotta get gas.
You gotta get gas. You know what I'm saying? You mean, I'm sorry, but you know, the Wawa, the McDonald's, sometimes them local poppy stores and delis, it ain't cutting it where you gotta go with
You
whatever.
gotta get some meat at 3 a.m.
Whatever the fuck it is, like you know.
No, it is some chefs out here. Nice Mill, Chef Barbie, some Joe's that's open till 5
There's a lot of chefs out here that I know that really do their damn thing, and you know I do that. I'm down with that. You starting out and you pushing dinners out your crib, and you doing the thing every other weekend to try and get yourself started to get that food truck, or whatever the case is. Like dog, like them meals be the bed, like feed us good. You know, I got a brother out in the county that make platters, you know, and he makes seafood platters. He do it on the weekend, you know. He trying to hustle up and take care of his family. You can't knock that. Like that's somebody thinking about their own skills and looking at it at an advantage point to make $1. But now we need the business part to now start backing that integrity and those intentions, and you know, match that effort that these people from home is truly starting. Like, give them a fucking chance.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Give them a chance. Yeah, like
for themselves, possibly the community, because they may give back or they may start to like help further circulate that dollar, because at the end of the day, it's staying in the community. And okay, I get that.
I try, like, for the most part, for me to support black businesses, like most people got like clothing lines and shit like that.
Yeah,
so that's what
nowadays.
I know Kev told me about your
shout out to Designs by K. Marie. You know what I'm saying? She hold us down on the shirt.
She told me about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I got 9 shirts from her.
You the plug because you got me a couple free shirts.
Or like I ain't wear a polo shirt all summer. Like I wear
trust me, I ain't buy one yet either, bro.
I buy shirts from my players who start their little clothing lines, and I bought some from her. I haven't worn.
Yeah, I actually like that.
What else? Like, it's hard to find like jeans and sneakers and shit like that, but I got hats and shit like that.
Right.
But also at the same time, some black businesses just be burning me out, like with the lack of professionalism and customer service.
Yeah.
But I can't really blame them, because it's not like they went to school for this shirt. They was taught by their mom.
Yeah, they learning as they go.
They just learning as they go. And it's
that.
like.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
I like that.
too much. I'm glad you brought up that point, dog, because to be perfectly honest, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, a lot of black businesses don't sometimes understand it, but let's keep it a buck, dog. I know you trying to make it, I know you trying to support, but you know, for some that make t-shirts or whatever, dog, you charging $115 for a shirt, and you want us to drop that shit.
But they doing it because niggas are out here do it for the designers. I'm not buying that from the designer, and I'm not buying
it from you either. That's my stance. You know, I gotta understand on the reasonable side. I'm a dad of 5. I can't spend $115 on the shirt, bro.
Right.
I don't care who label on that shit. Right. I cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? I cannot do that. And it's no disrespect to you. I respect your grind. I respect the hustle. But sometimes you make that a little bit more far-fetched. The restaurant spend. Bro, you put the menu out there and said you can handle this shit. I don't want to hear, you know, we got to wait there an hour and a half, 2, 3 hours to get our food. Like
the 4 hours with delivery.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, come on, bro. I'm sorry, and I get it. I know you starting out, but take the time to work out a better strategic plan. You know what I'm saying? Let's like make this really work for you. And no, it ain't my job to critique it. That's not here what we trying to do. But I mean, you gotta understand where we come from as the consumer.
As the customer,
you gotta
at least communicate like, bro, I'm running behind. Right
exactly.
Now. It's going to take
Tell me that shit up front.
Yo, I ordered. I really don't care because it's really not that deep to me. But I ordered like 20 shirts for my basketball team. Hold up. Matter of fact, I remember it's like February 9th.
Okay.
I ordered that shit. It's July 7th, and I have yet to receive them shirts.
Oh.
Like I probably text like every 3 weeks, but I went to her before, and it was great customer service. Like you mean, but with the pandemic and shit like that, shit went left.
But she let you know.
Yeah, like she let me like, oh, I forgot, or the vendor did this, and then this time it was they didn't have a color. Like I hit her up, I be forgetting because it's so long ago. I don't care because I don't need the shirts because like we not in basketball season.
Yeah.
But it's since I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I didn't take 4 months to get my shit. Like I can't go back to you. No matter how bad I want to support, like I can't.
Yeah, and that's something.
And if I don't went to the agents, I would have my shit in a week.
Yeah, it's a fact. That's something I want to get deeper into.
She said she's gonna give me $50 back though. She said, but like,
I mean that's better. But I mean at the end of the day,
like,
it's still 4 months. Like before months of time, like say you need to do shirts to start a business of your own. That 4 months costs you way more than $50 because now you either have to rush order from somewhere else, or you have to wait till you get the shirts from her, or you have to make up something that's made.
She told me when I texted 3 weeks ago, I'm out of Philly. I'm on a trip. I'm gonna have him to I think shit like July 2nd or something like that. I promise. Where the fuck she at?
Dog, I went to a burger spot. And these motherfuckers ran out of burgers. Dog.
Like, what else do y'all order?
Motherfuckers, like, I called, like, because, you know, I ain't trying to drop too much info and shit, because I ain't never trying to disrespect and throw the shade on somebody, but this is just honest.
Man, like
this is a
real.
Yeah, like, this is a real review, dog. Like, yeah, man, you know, Family Night Fridays, dog, we order it for fucking like 20 people. You know what I'm saying, in the crib. Sometimes the orders don't always be that easy. I'm not going to hold you. We can order for majority of the room and forget somebody. Right. We can have somebody show up late and say, oh, I want to put a fucking order in. Whatever the fuck the case is. But you a burger spot.
Yeah. And the point is, that's what they want.
Burgers on a Friday night at 7:40.
Fuck yeah, 20 burgers?
Dog.
Right, exactly. That goes back to doing your homework.
Like, what are you doing?
Right.
I don't care if I gotta go down to the market and buy some burgers and make them myself. I'm going to make this shit work.
Yeah, because you gotta realize, like you just said, it's like 20 of y'all. Bro, for a business starting up, that's a dream.
That's a dream.
20 different people ordering something. Like, that's 20 orders, or at least 20 burgers minimum. Do you add fries, whatever come with it? Bro, that's probably whatever your weekend goal is right there in that one
That's
order.
20 people that if they like that shit, they gonna order from you on weekends, they gonna tell their friends.
Yeah, you
know
gotta
that could have brings out to you tell me you got 20, give me 45 minutes. I'm running down the shop right and I'm getting some burgers.
That shit from me again, you know what I'm saying? We gonna try it, you know what I'm saying?
And I get it though.
And you lose a customer that you could have had for life.
Yeah, like
a customer that damn big, listen, I'd have been at truck door with like 20 free joints. Like, listen, we messed up. I know you're gonna like these.
Nothing better than when y'all fuck up and give me some free shit.
Right.
Why don't
I'll go back and hope you fuck my order up. Please fuck my order up.
Why don't more businesses do that shit? Like, and don't get me wrong, it's human error. Everything can be mistake. Like, your mistakes can happen. But address that shit as the business. You know, rectify that order. You know what I'm saying? Of course, if we order food, give me some more fucking food, please.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I ordered your fish and your chicken, but y'all fucked up and took 30 minutes, give me y'all steak. You know
that shit gonna make me go back.
I feel like that
please fuck my order up.
I
feel like that comes with the grind though. Like, a lot of people are thinking on a dollar value. Like, for you, like they messed up your order, so you want something free, which you should get. But to him, now that's $3 or $5 extra. Because like Domino's. You can have your order perfectly right. They can have like all the evidence in the world that you messed up. Their policy is apologize, replace, and apologize again. They don't care. But it's because for them, the amount of money that it costs them to remake or to give you a free medium pizza to the amount of money they're going to make keeping that customer or keeping good customer service is nothing. Mm-hmm. But a lot of smaller businesses may not think of it that way because that extra burger or that extra fry, they're thinking of that $2, $3 right now. They're not thinking long term. So in their mind, it's like,
this ain't gonna work like that.
Yeah, and I mean that goes back to, like I said, ultimately you gotta do your homework. You gotta understand, like, you don't gotta go to school for this stuff, but choose your resources. YouTube tells you everything. Go to other businesses. Like with us starting a podcast, we found out a lot of podcast stuff through YouTube, through following other podcast pages and networking with people who've already
trial and error.
Yeah, exactly. Trial and error too. Like you try things, you figure out what works, and then you tweak it.
Different.
That's how you have to run a business, and that's how most businesses become successful. Like Domino's was just one pizza shop at one point in time. A lot of these auto parts stores started as one.
McDonald's.
Right, McDonald's, Walmart. All these things that eventually like started as one and it branched out.
They started out as a fucking burger store.
Right, a little burger store.
I watched that joint. Yeah. I watched their little documentary on Netflix as to how they, once they made the combo, they shit went through the fucking roof. Like,
genius, bro. Because imagine you just get a burger and you get fries with it. Blow your mind the first time you had it.
Combo, dog, they went through the roof like genius shit, bro.
And now they everywhere in the world.
In the world.
Fuck the country.
They got tailored menus in different parts of the country.
Yeah, and that's dope.
That's crazy as shit to think about it.
Them motherfuckers selling ribs now.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I ain't never
I'm not trying. I don't even eat McDonald's at all anyway. But I'm not gonna act like I ain't had a McChicken back in the day. But now I don't really go to McDonald's. That shit just
McChicken, the McDouble, a small fry, and the small hot seat for $4.
Yeah, like that was the 4 for 4 back in the day.
We used to walk all the way up the Oxford Avenue to the clean McDonald's. We ain't gonna go to the Jordan Bridge Crap.
Right, yeah, that's every neighborhood you know the clean McDonald's. Over the clean.
Drink this small hot seat, get you a refill, and they had the refills outside, so that's why we walked up there too.
That's how it was in the joints downtown. What was it? Was it the churches downtown? We used to
refills.
We wouldn't even go there like for food. Like Like we're like one person going there.
Bob, big ass drink from Family Dollar Tree. Pour that shit out. Fill it up.
Yo, they used to be the bid, man. Oh man. All right, y'all. I want to talk about something that's been going on all over social media for like the last week and a half.
Oh man.
And that's the situation with August Alsina and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Dick sucked on crazy.
She snatched the soul for real.
Go ahead, Kev. I heard no, you feel
I'm about to say, I know Kev got to say about this. Right, he finished his water and everything. Not want to hear your points first because I want to like really kind of. Yeah, that's why I really want to take like your view on it first. Like, why do you feel like? Well, first I'm gonna start with this from both of y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do y'all feel like he was wrong for out in that situation the way he did in general?
Is this even a question?
Okay.
Is this even a question? Is that even a question?
I'm serious.
No,
It was
what's
done in the bedroom. Stay in the bedroom, baby.
Okay.
You're not supposed to share that information. He's a side chick that just got his feelings. Yo, I'm sorry, dog. His hair color and all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't like the hairstyle. Threw me off all the way.
She changed his life.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I'm gonna keep it a buck from Jump Street.
So fuck, that's what she did.
Jada and Will Smith came out decade or longer ago saying that they are in an open relationship.
Big facts.
Regardless to who comes and goes in and out of that house or part of their whatever, they are a family in a community. They take care of their kids, their mothers, their fathers, their kids, their uncles' kids, their sisters' kids, their brothers. They take care of an entire network. Not only their business ventures, the people that work for them, but their families, which is at the ultimate core. No piece of dick or pussy will ever come in to jeopardize that fucking community. Now, I'm gonna be perfectly honest too. The way I feel about this shit, this was Will's ultimate thing. Big star, big super celebrity. I'm young, I'm thriving. Look, you gotta stay home sometimes, take care of family. If I fuck old girl on the road or from this music video, I'm gonna make sure that I wear a Jimmy, she don't do shit, she ain't coming back home, whatever. I personally think that it started that way. 9 times out of 10 in relationships.
Do you think Jada was really home? Like back in the 90s when they first officially...
They was both thriving. They were both thriving artists, but she started having a fucking family and the kids. Not to say that I'm saying that I 100%
I know
but my outlook on it is that the man introduced that scenario to the woman. Now, everything in a relationship is roller coasters. It comes and it goes. You gonna have your moment, and she gonna have
probably got caught a few times this year.
Probably did.
Like, instead of destroying this entire
but at the same time,
let's make it.
We gonna handle this within the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna jeopardize this at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? They done even talked about it on the Red Table Talk, how Will had his own image in his head and what he thought his family was gonna be, should have been, and all that other extra shit. Yeah. While his family was idly standing there like, who the fuck you want to do what?
Right.
That ain't what I want to do. You ain't tell me that.
They all free spirits.
But they're all free spirits. They all open,
they
free spirits. And at the same time, they bring for damn their money. They got money at the young fucking time. Like, excuse me, no. And Jada said the shit when she sat Will down in the interview. Me and him then made the decision that we gonna be in this together. Right. If that means that you on that side of this motherfucker with somebody else and I'm on this side of this motherfucker with somebody else, we still in this together. Those somebody else's are interchangeable.
Come and go.
August got hooked. She gave him that Kruger, Erica Badu shit. This motherfucker seen the light. He done dyed his hair, done put scarves around his neck and shit. He don't know what the fuck to do. He on the jaw like, I'm emotionally hurt. I can't. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm going to keep it a buck, too. And this is something, because while it seems like joking and a light topic, because it's just threesomes or whatever, to be perfectly honest and sound.
Threesomes, maybe more.
Whatever. August Alsina comes from a broken place.
Party Jada?
No. And we ain't getting into that.
No.
August Alsina comes from a broken place. August Alsina comes from a broken home. I'm not going to label him because I'm no psychiatrist or doctor, but he's verbalized his family abuse and family history, his family struggles, his disconnect with his mother, you know, the issues with him taking in his kids, his sister's kids after she went on drugs, which to what we found out through Jada is probably what started him probably connecting to their family, them trying to show him the way, take him in, whatever. Emotionally, from that standpoint, no, this shouldn't have happened because he's not mentally prepared or ready to handle it. But at the same time, you grown, B. Like we grown. She opened the door and gave you the invite, and you took it. You know, you even said that we'll set you down. You don't want to really say sexually and sexual. We'll set you down. Y'all had an agreement. All right, cool, whatever. That's like an NDA, B. Shut the fuck up. You don't tell nobody that kind of shit. Like, and again, even with all of the talk that's going on right now, all the interviews that's to come later, ain't shit gonna fuck up that community.
Right.
This is just gonna generate some headlines and some revenue.
And everybody gonna watch the
for
radio
the
talk.
community. You know what I'm saying? For the community. Yeah. It's gonna bring more people to just see what the fuck she may say on this week's episode and shit. Mm-hmm. But it still comes back to the taking care of this community. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
so do you think he did it for the extra exposure, or do you think he did it just out of emotional spite? Or do you think it was
I think it's a combination. I personally think it's a combination. I did see that on iTunes, this motherfucker dropped an EP or a little something this weekend. So I don't know if that was the let's get into the headlines before we drop the music to draw more people to the music. I don't know if it was that kind of ordeal. If that is a formula nowadays that a lot of people do.
Trying to make something.
They try and get themselves in the headlines and stir up, the media talk before the music drops. And then it becomes, check out the new music, and you may get a glimpse of bullshit.
Right,
whatever.
We know Jada not about to name on them songs.
Fuck no.
He better not name drop Jada.
Fuck no. He better not. He better not. Like,
Jada.
He used to get he August Alsina. He probably can get any female he want. Like, he used to that. So the fact that Jada hit him and then threw him to the side, and that shit probably was crazy. And
probably
he couldn't do that
too, though. Like, she might have gave him what no other woman ever did. Like, with her being so experienced, like, always can do that. She like, listen,
but see,
she might have comforted
him.
Like, listen, she literally might have gave him the comfort that he never got, not only from another female, but that he never got growing up.
True
like
shit.
you said, he came from that broken home area.
That's the real point. And it's still funny as shit. But let's keep it a buck. Yeah. She's a mother.
Yeah, and she gives you that nurturing vibe.
Yeah. So to somebody that never had a really understood nigga, she might have, and he was suppling on the nigga every night, like, you mean, like, but it's just crazy. Either way, hands down, you never talk. You never talk.
Yeah, you definitely don't
never talk.
I feel like that was going overboard. Any little chance he had of possibly seeing Jada again, without the window.
Yeah, you did it then, B. You messed that shit up.
So while we speaking on Jada, let me ask y'all a question that people used to talk about back in the day. Do y'all think that Jada and Tupac ever slept together? Why they said they were just friends, had a lot of love for each other, stuff like that. Do y'all think? They said they never dated.
Just friends.
From what I remember.
I definitely think he hit.
He hit, Drake hit Nicki, Lil Wayne hit Nicki, Biggie hit Lil Kim, all that friend shit, bro. Like, we talked about this already.
I definitely
he hit, bro. Come on now.
He hit. Yeah, like,
he fucking Tupac.
He Tupac. Yeah, he hit. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's like irrelevant. Like, it's like irrelevant. Like, yeah. He hit. No different than do I think that Will Smith probably slayed half of them badass co-stars he had on Fresh Prince. Either way, neither here nor there. He hit.
I don't think Ashley was of age, but when she got of age, she probably hit.
What? Touching. Come on, man.
Gabrielle Union on Bad Boy.
He had everybody.
Was Nia Long with him?
Yes, she was on the episode with him. She was on the episode.
Nia Long dated him on the Fresh Prince.
Dated him on that joint.
On the Fresh Prince for like a season or something.
He had another little bad light-skinned joint. Who was that? Holly Berry? No.
Yeah,
what's the bad light-skinned joint?
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks, that's who it was.
Tisha
Campbell. Tisha Campbell before too.
Oh my God.
I literally was just watching like the first, when she had everything fake.
That's my idol, bro.
I was just watching that. Like those is classics, yo. That's
the Fresh Prince itself is a really good one, man. So do y'all feel like, personally, there can be true love in an open relationship? Like, not just like, because I can't label their love, I can't say what they are, but like, for an example, maybe he did get caught cheating at one point, and it got to the point where she didn't love him the way she used to. Again, just an example. But from that, they had this open relationship to keep the image, to keep the family together, because it's not just all about the image, but to keep the family one unit. You guys still like each other, or love each other on like a friendship base. Y'all get along well, y'all do well together, and the family is a close-knit unit. So y'all don't want to break that up. So y'all become an open relationship. But do you feel like there is still a possibility for true love to be there? Like that true desire for just that one person in that way?
Well, how can you have a desire for one person in an open relationship? That's a contradictory statement. Do I think that there can be true love in, an open relationship? Hell yeah. I mean, you been in love, bro.
You can love somebody and not love them sexually.
Real shit.
Somebody else.
You can love somebody and not like somebody. You can love somebody and not like their choices. You can sleep with somebody and not like them. Like that. It's different. The heart is different. Emotions and love and that kind of shit is a completely different, unexplainable, explainable situation within itself. So love, yeah, it can definitely be love there. And I ain't gonna hold you. As far as that situation is concerned, they were a unit for almost 40 years. There's definitely love there. That's another reason. All these pieces are interchangeable. Will and Jada's this fucking table. August Alsina's my water bottle. You can be removed. This table is going to stay. It goes with the room.
I like this.
This is the decor.
It goes with the room.
Come on. Like,
I was waiting for him to say all this shit during this episode.
Dog, like,
okay, I like the way he's playing.
He just silly dumb, dog. He's a side chick. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. He was a side piece. He's still a hurt side piece right now.
She blew bubbles in that nigga.
You ever had motherfuckers make the phone calls to you random times of night and shit? Like, I ain't mean to call, knowing that they meant to call. That kind of dumb shit. Like,
I just did that. I'm like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever dealt. Like, they text me a paragraph. I ain't mean to. You didn't type this whole paragraph.
You didn't
see my name.
Yeah, like,
it's a whole book.
Dog,
you know you fucking see my name. Don't do that.
Come on, dog.
And that's definitely like, I mean, I get it. I think he definitely was just way like in over his head. He probably thought he was going to do the same player August thing. He fell in love. You fall in love, things happen. So let me ask y'all, if y'all were in Will's position, would you feel any way about just about him speaking up, not about the cheating or anything like that, but like just about him like outing it as if it wasn't like something that people knew. I knew when he was around Jade and Willow that he wasn't just around Jade and Willow. That age gap was too like you're not friends with these little ass kids. Like, I knew it was something back then. Like,
so you said, do I think Will what?
Just feel away. Like if you was Will, would you feel away about him just going out there and outing it as if like everyone already knows you guys have an open relationship, but it's the fact like if everyone knows you're a killer, but then this dude goes and tell people you're a killer, it's a difference.
50-50. Because one, I done already told you motherfuckers what I am, so what is the surprise there? At the same time, you just messed your chances up. You know what I'm saying? On that note, as far as a man, me personally, those would be my two ways of looking at it. Now, as far as in my relationship, I'd just be going, because we in an open relationship anyway, so I'd be going to my wife like, yes, I did tripping. Like,
go get that nigga.
Go get your nigga. Yeah, like, I kept my bitch in tuck. You know what I'm saying? I kept my bitch in tuck. She ain't say shit. She over there in the corner eating her fruit and shit. Don't nobody see her, see her fucking whatever. Like, you need to go get your man in check and shit. Like,
she gonna cut him a check, shut him up, just
probably.
like what we doing.
I mean, probably, because that's all.
When he was calling me, I think she just gonna walk up to him, tell him, listen, if you shut up, there's who.
What messes me up is, what truly fucks me up is, I am a multi-million-dollar recording artist. Why the fuck do I need to stay in your guest room? That's the shit that I don't get.
When I see that,
like,
that's
rehab.
Don't
get me wrong. Will crib is like an island.
Right.
It's not a house. This isn't by
any
means
the
circumstances
resort
of a house. This shit is like an island on a hill of a mountain, whatever. But I'm a multi-million-dollar recording artist.
Right.
Necessarily levels away, but I can go buy me my own.
And back then, he was actually still.
He was still collecting checks and recording shows and.
Right.
Y'all motherfuckers was literally going to. So you picture this. I stay in Will's guest room. All three of us have to go to the music award show. I leave the guest room in my own car to go to the show. Then they leave their home to go to the show. And we show up at the show and take pictures together like we haven't seen each other.
They drove him to the show. He was in the back seat. They put that nigga in the car.
This is some bullshit.
But that goes to what you say. The table, bro. Like they showed up together because
real shit. They are the. Don't nobody want to see pictures of.
You gotta find your own
Jada, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like
after they done
the party and shit. Like
listen, you can't go in the main kitchen. You go in the guest room kitchen. Like basically you go through the side door. So I definitely get it. Okay, well, either one you ever be open to an open relationship? Do you feel like?
Fuck no. Every girl that I've ever messed with, because I've been me for a long fucking time. I'm selfish in that regard. I don't like to share shit. I personally don't want you giving too much of my fucking time to your family, friends, or other. No, I don't want you up my ass. Let's be perfectly clear. I have no problem being by myself and you doing your own thing, going out, whatever. Right. But our time is our time, and I do not fucking compromise that shit for nothing. Okay, now, as far as an open relationship, is he open to catch these bullets? That's all the fuck I want to know. Because as long as this nigga bulletproof, bring him more in. Because I promise you, I'm going to go through at least a box and a half and shit to get him out the room.
Wait,
like, no
she bring him in. You shooting her too or no?
His life insurance policy better be over.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna hold you, because I've had them conversations before too, but you know, I'm a little bit biased about that shit. Like, I'm not necessarily there to say I'm off my lover, but at the same time, please don't think we about to go for a long walk on the beach after some shit like that. Like, we gonna have a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? But I'm off this nigga, and you gonna prove to me that you love me by burying this motherfucker. That kind of shit. Like, I shot you, shut the fuck up. Right. Real shit. Like, you mean it's one way or the other. Like, no, I'm not. No. For all of that
could be looking for like a relationship or no?
Relationship, maybe. Marriage, no. Like, once we marry, I feel like that's sacred. That's like that bond. Ain't no, like, I don't want nobody coming in between that, breaking it. Like, even if she said you can go out and do your own thing, I wouldn't even want to, like, no, like, I'm here with you, we in it for the long call, like, that's what it is. Okay. A relationship, we still dating, technically, like, listen. I ain't put a ring on it, I can't be mad at you. I'm gonna be hurt, but.
I'm gonna be hurt, real shit.
I feel the same way. On a marriage settings, yeah, it's definitely sacred. I feel like, personally, that's just something you don't, like, that bond you don't break by bringing someone else into it. And, I feel like that essentially is kind of what it would do for me. I can't speak for everyone else, but having someone else brought into my marriage will make my marriage less of like that dream that it was, or that feeling that I get, how special it is, all of that. How private it is, like literally. Like having someone else in your private moments, in your beds, and like that's.
Now, if you want to have a threesome every once in a while or something, like that, that's cool.
That's different.
Bring your best friend, but
I ain't gonna lie, even when I get this still might be the mentality.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not.
Yeah, like, I ain't too opposed, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
You don't say nothing.
Look, the only thing you need to do is this. Point to the ring finger.
I ain't got nothing to say about this shit, babe.
I get that 1,000%.
I love you. I'm coming home by cook. Don't be mad.
He's sitting there like, listen, whatever I gotta do, I ain't trying to get it. All right, so I want to end this off with one last question. And we've been talking about relationships a lot. Might as well end it off on that note. Would you be comfortable with sharing all of your passwords, every password?
Password? Fuck no.
With your wife? Yes. I mean, your wife or your spouse. I mean, either one. So if you're younger, your girlfriend, for you, your wife, every password.
Oh, well, wait.
I don't care about social media and shit, but like, well, it's my wife. We probably gonna have joint bank accounts and shit.
That's what I said.
Well, you not getting my bank account and all that.
I want to hear it on both levels because a lot of viewers are maybe in a long-term relationship, but they're not married. So if you in a relationship for a year and a half, and you in a relationship for a year and a half as well, neither one of you are married, would you share your passwords with your girlfriend?
If that's gonna make you, if I know I'm not doing nothing, and I feel like if that's gonna make you secure, like you've been through whatever you've been through, and that's gonna make you. Go ahead, I really don't care. But me personally, I'm not going to do that shit. Because I'm going to see something I don't want to like. It's going to be some nigga where you texting him and why he got your number. Well, he kept asking me, so I just gave it to him, but I don't text him back. I don't give a fuck why the fuck you got your number. Or if some niggas DMing you or whatever, and I'm not gonna, even if you not responding, I don't want to see that shit.
I don't want to see it.
Don't like the message, don't say okay, LOL, none of that shit, don't respond to no nigga Instasnap. I'm just gonna make myself mad. So I'm not going through your phone. That shit
so if you see a message and boy DM'd your girl trying to come at her, you look beautiful, and the picture that she put up and she said thank you, and then he said something else but she didn't respond, do you feel the way that she said thank you in the DMs?
I'm not going to be like, yo, why you say thank you? Like, it's really not that deep. But
Yeah.
I don't even care if she didn't respond to him.
Right.
I don't want to see that it's other niggas coming at my girl.
Okay.
Because then I'm going to go with, yo, don't, you know what I mean? Or a nigga comment on my shit, I'm going right at him, yo, watch your mouth. Pussy. Like,
real shit.
I'm not even, you know what I mean? It's not even
But
that
that's
deep.
kind of what come with it when your girlfriend is a beautiful woman.
I'm fine with it. Like,
I mean, my
That's
girl,
How do you feel too? About both. I want to hear your answer on the DM question too, but first, just would you
having the passcodes. Yeah, having passcodes aren't really mine. We in a committed relationship. You know what I mean? Now, again, I don't necessarily think even at my parents' level of 35 years of marriage that my mom know my dad passcode to Progressive and shit. Like, I don't think that kind of shit really all needs to be disclosed, but at the same time, as his wife, yeah, if you need that shit, all right, here's how you can find it.
Right.
You can go get his book or go in his phone and you can get it that way. Me personally, yeah, like, no, my fiance doesn't have every password to the T, but my fiance has access to my phone that can get her whatever the fuck she need. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of our thing or whatever. I don't, it is a level of trust, but at the same time, neither one of us do that shit. Like, you know, we answer each other's messages. That's not even on no creep shit. We just in a relationship.
Nah,
like,
I feel like it's something that can happen.
Yeah, like, you
Also,
left your phone in the living room.
it's
and
like,
your
even if
mom
you're not
texts
doing
her.
nothing and somebody go through your phone, it's like they find
But
something.
you're going to.
When you want to find something,
When
you're
you
always
want
Like, I'm not
going
even
to.
doing nothing.
That's
What are
the
you talking
goal.
about?
You want to find something, you're gonna find it. Just like you said, it could be that somebody messaged and she never responded. I've personally been in that situation where it was a message and she never responded. Oh, you would have thought that she damn near responded because my response is the same.
Right.
My response, whether he messaged you, whether you message him, whether I see y'all talking, is damn near going to be the same. No, and I'm not that, you know, smack you upside your head, crazy aggressive, but I'm also not that pacifist. So if something bothering me, you gonna fucking know. Whether you gotta find out at my time or whether you gonna pick up on it on your time is truly something completely different, because I know me. But we going to have this fucking conversation, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, if I seen the message and that shit was shot out,
So let me ask you a question.
man. Like,
You knowing how you're going to react to a message, even if she didn't respond. Say you are on her phone and you find out that she been deleting the DMs that niggas have been sending her, but she was never responding. Do you feel like she's being sneaky by deleting them, or do you feel like she's deleting them? If her response when you come to her is, I deleted them because I knew you would be mad seeing them.
That's why I'm not gonna go through it. So
yeah, exactly.
Not
And at the same time, me being on her phone, I'm not in her fucking DM. Like, you know, I be like,
I mean,
said,
one pop up, you go there and be like, oh, deleted it.
I've done it before. I'm like, I've done it before.
Right.
And it made me mad. That's why I'm not gonna do it no
all
more.
have,
I
dog.
learned my
We
fucking
all
lesson.
have, you know what I'm saying? From baby dads to exes to just fucking friends. We have all been in those kind of circumstances and situations, but I'm not truly gonna go pro. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? You know, it's day and age, you know, people phones connected to their hand anyway, but I'm not going looking for your shit. Like, you know, yeah, I may have your phone because I'm texting your mom, I want you to change the song or some kind of random dumbass shit like that, and if that's the time you get that message and it pop up, we now got something to talk about. But other than that, it ain't like, you know, I'm going through your shit. Like, that's just what the fuck happened or whatever. But,
So it's a level of trust there with y'all.
It is a level of trust.
Not to just go snooping because you are securing with y'all.
I don't want you to. I also don't want you to go through my phone because I feel like you're going to find something. But if you really want to go through my phone,
Yeah, like I don't want, like, I wouldn't mind giving my passcodes to anything except for like bank information. Like if we married, even if we married to an extent, if we married, I feel like, yeah, I'm saying we're married, I feel like that's the way I would go about it. Joint account, separate account. The
That's
joint
smart.
account is for the important stuff, the bills,
But I
the
ain't
insurance,
gonna
stuff like that.
Even being married, fellas, I want you to fucking understand. Y'all gonna have the joint account,
It's
motherfucker.
basically joint
She's
account.
still gonna have access to
Oh, to
her
your
fucking
main account? Yeah. Or if not, she always gonna be saying,
Real
well,
shit.
let me get
Exactly.
a little. My account kind of low.
And don't get me
I
wrong,
mean,
I never fucking. I don't have nobody that's just trying to scheme and none of that stupid
Yeah.
shit. But you know, it's just the way shit happens.
Yeah,
dog. Like,
kinda
you know,
way- kinda
transfer
way.
me some fucking bread.
Right.
That shit happens with your lady. You know that shit. Like y'all know she needs some shit. You may have to peel off and shit every now and again. You know what I'm saying? I just sell your ass real quick from account to account. You get the fuck on, like you know, whatever the case is. But yeah, man, I don't see it being that big of a issue or a deal breaker or the argument that most people put it up to be.
I don't even
Now,
want to get to the argument.
don't get me wrong. If we in the beginning stages and neither one of us know if one of us is it, fuck no, you're not gonna get access to my goddamn phone because we just starting out.
Right.
You got to be completely 100 at that point from the guy and from the girl. And the relationship and shit in the beginning, you don't know what the fuck that person, what it took for that person, you know what I'm saying, yeah, to maintain. You don't know that they may use this one for dates and this one for drinks and this one just to talk to and this one peeled off bread and that one she slept with or whatever. You don't know that fucking shit. Like, not to say that she fucking wrong, dog. When you single, you single.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Sometimes when you jump in a
That's just
relationship, you still gotta cut those people
it takes
completely
time.
off. Yeah,
that shit take time. You know what I'm saying? That shit take time.
Especially if they was your hoes for a minute. Like, if you
That
got
shit take
16
time,
niggas,
dog. That shit
it's
take
going to
time.
take you a while to cut all 16
You know
with
what I'm
more.
saying?
You got to make sure this relationship gonna work.
Right, you got
all that.
exactly. You got to make sure the relationship is sturdy before you start stirring the pot and cutting off all your money.
Nobody
making
going
free
straight
drinks,
into the joint,
your free trip to
cutting
this
everybody
place.
off.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not doing
makes
that.
sense.
You know what I'm saying? From any sex,
Yeah.
male or female.
Yeah, that's right. That's what-
You gotta understand why. Don't be the selfish buyers and like, no, I'm gonna keep my whole, but she gotta cut everybody.
Yeah, like,
fuck
that's
all
corny.
that. Be
Yeah, that's
honest.
super corny.
Be honest.
That's
and
kind
real.
of
I'm
my
saying,
opinion.
like, but
Girl
yeah,
went
you
through
just
my
gotta
phone
wait.
before while I was asleep and went like 8-9 months, like in text messages.
Hey, yo,
Shit not funny, bro.
No, some girl went through my phone while I was sleeping. I woke up, she was crying in my phone.
Oh shit!
She was crying in my
It's not
face.
funny.
Bro, but listen. We weren't together.
That's fuck. All right, so y'all bring up stories like that.
No way. Just when he said that, they're like, I was sitting there wondering, like, how
funny.
It's not, but it is, because I'm half asleep. I'm not even going to finish it.
You're not gonna finish it.
I can't get through it without laughing. Long story short, she wasn't looking for something, but then she started looking for something, and she didn't like what we found, but we weren't together. Because if we were together, I would have had nothing there. Because I feel like once you get past that 1, 2, 3 week area of like being committed, there should be no more rules. There should somebody could pop up, but it should be no response. Like, you could have cut them off, because I know niggas for a fact don't quit. You can tell a nigga, I'm married. Listen, I won't tell your husband if you don't. They'll hit you with that. Or I will tell your husband if we don't. They'll take any angle. So I think, other than that, though, for me, I would never have a problem sharing my passwords in those regards, like messages.
Just because everybody brought up a story of waking up to the passcode and shit, I would just say mine. I've woken up to not only my girlfriend at the time, but 4 of her, we was in college, so 4 of her roommates. I woke up to all of them in the room basically arguing with an ex on my fucking phone.
Wow.
That's how I woke up.
They all about to jump her.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if my girl went through my phone or if my ex texter called and my girl answered, but what I woke up to was 4 Jones in my room snapping on 1 Jones on the phone. And I'm just like, what happened? We ain't gonna go get nothing to eat like this.
Right.
She mad as shit.
When you probably already know a few of my jokes, but I was drunk, so it's not it's not a funny. Yeah, she woke up with a knife.
She was about to stab yo. When he told me this story, I was cracking the fuck up. He's like, bro, I woke up and she was crying with a knife in my face. I'm like, yo.
But the thing is, though,
yeah.
I didn't. The world not gonna believe me, but I didn't do anything.
Yikes.
So listen,
He's not guilty.
Listen,
He's not doing anything.
anybody who know my friend Daquan, right? He never got a phone Like, he never got a phone. And sometime when he used to have a phone, he had a little flip drum.
Okay.
So we went out. He was trying to bag some shorties from Jersey. Daddy, let me use your phone. He did whatever he did. They text him the next day. I'm at work or something. And then I just ignored that shit. So when she went through my phone 8-9 months, who the fuck is these bitches from da-da-da-da? You talking to bitches from Jersey? This, like, what? What the fuck is this? The fucking messages green, the fucking Android. Like, what? I don't got. This Daquan bitches. That's not my bitches. So she not believing that shit for nothing.
That's Daquan bitches. Daquan. I'm not believing either.
Right? Listen, unless you was there, I wouldn't believe her either.
Right. If she told you that,
but to be honest, it really wasn't me.
That wasn't true.
I remember when he told me that. I'm sitting there listening to him, cracking the fuck up.
Kicked me out and all that. And it was in college too. Like you said. Had to go home middle of the night and shit. I don't live on the campus. I had to go the fuck home. I did have a car. I had to wait for the 18 and shit to go to Broad Island in the middle of the fucking night.
Oh shit, yo, that was hilarious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I like that story, Doc. Glad that we ended it off on a laugh. I feel like it was a good place to end it, though. Nah, that was hilarious. It's not funny because it's not my story. Like, mine's I could laugh at because there was no hurt there. Like, I think I woke up because she dropped the phone and it hit the floor. Like, that woke me up. And then I just see her crying, and I'm like, what the fuck you crying for? Long story short, that whole situation happened. I could laugh at it because I didn't get hurt. If a phone would have got thrown at me or something, it probably would have been funny. You was about to die.
Like, if she
was about to get jumped right
with
with
the
the
girl,
you were about to be right next to the girl fighting them 5. It was gonna be a 2-5.
I would take that. I would start throwing bitches. And then what? You start stabbing me. What the fuck am I gonna do about this?
So one of them 5 pull out a knife. Next thing you know, y'all outnumbered. You and the jungle get beat up. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's really gonna wrap it here, y'all. I feel it was a great episode. And this place right here, I know y'all see the new setting. This might temporarily be the new place. Right now, we're just like figuring it out. Old place was getting some work done on the inside, so we found a new place.
Fuck that, we getting money now. We upgraded. The fuck is you talking about?
We the same. The place may change.
Yeah, the place may
Just stay
change.
tuned,
The conversation will be the same.
Man, we here. Scream at me podcast. I'm Kev.
Kai. I'm dead.
Yo, what's up, man? Y'all keep with us. Stay.
I'm from a block where these niggas get locked and go back. Where the money that you see ain't legal, it's all trap. All black mask, coat zip it up, he gon' blast. Anybody plotting on me, that's a death force. All niggas hop out the V, get your head right, right on his T. He get